Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Off the Top End of the Year Award Show. This is the first of its kind, and look at us. I mean, we're in dresses, we're looking good. And well, this video is gonna be even better because we're gonna tell you a lot of the things. The best wrestlers, the worst wrestlers, the best matches. We're excited. We got a lot of categories to go, so let's get to it. First of all though, boys, introduce yourselves. Mr.Dubbs, why don't you do the honors? Why don't you start?
Dubious ones, welcome back. We are looking sharp tonight. You can find me at Mr._Dubbs. If you haven't already checked it out, AEW is saved, y'all. They dropped a huge patch today. Please go check out my video if you're not familiar. I just dropped it this morning. And you can find me on X, Twitter, Mr.Dubbs86. Cheers, y'all.
Clint, fire away.
Hey guys, you know me. You can find me at Stryzer Tube Wrestling. Got a couple videos planned for the next few days, so keep an eye on the channel. Dragon Ball Z, UPW, Wrestling Code, all sorts of stuff. So keep an eye on the channel and follow me on Twitter or X, whatever it's called now, at Stryzer STW.
And then we got Loaded in the house.
What's going on, guys? Keep an eye out. I got some shorts coming out soon. It'll be out tomorrow. I got some Dragon Ball stuff on there. Tekken 8, talked about that. AEW Fight Forever, I may give up on that. Let's see what Season 2 has in store for us, so check it out. Loaded as a Beast. Check me out on YouTube, Twitter, X, TikTok, Instagram, all socials.
Everywhere. Unsanctioned TV.
What's good, everybody? Unsanctioned TV in the building. If you are a fan of wrestling games or the beautiful world of mixed martial arts, you can follow us on Twitter at UnsanctionedTV or subscribe on YouTube, Unsanctioned TV. And as the boys said, when it comes to AEW Fight Forever, looking like we're cooked. We'll get to that tomorrow.
All right. Before I forget myself, I am Kero, the GOAT. And you can find me on YouTube as Kero the GOAT, or you can go to Instagram and find me as Kero Zero.
Your green screen just crushed that.
Amazing. I do a lot of wrestling videos, RPG games. I talked about Ready or Not. I'm going to talk about the Wrestling Code very soon. Everything we know about it. So check me out on YouTube. Like I said, Kero the GOAT. And then right near me, we got Bryan.
Yo. What's good, man? Y'all can go check me out at Just Bryan NY. I'm usually uploading some WWE videos. That train is about to go. And then we have AEW Fight Forever as well, which I don't know if I'm dropping any videos on that anymore, but that's about it.
And last but definitely not least, we got the host of this show, looking dapper tonight, Mr. Kenny Bomb in the building.
Thanks for the beautiful intro, Kero the GOAT. Kenny Bomb is in the building. Y'all can find me at Kenny Bomb on YouTube. Dragon Ball Z, Mortal Kombat, AEW Fight Forever. New videos going up every day, so make sure y'all tap in and check it out. But today we are here to present to y'all the nominees for a lot of different categories. We're going to give y'all the nominees, let you know who we think should win these awards, but the winner is really up to you. We're going to be putting the polls up on the community post, and we want you guys to get in there and let us know who wins the awards, and next week we will come back and present you the winners. So, are y'all ready to get started with the first category?
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So our first category is most shocking moment of the year. Clint, what do you got for us?
Well, I'm pretty sure this is going to be everybody's shocking moment of the year. CM Punk coming back to WWE, right? That's got to be crazy. Nobody ever thought that was going to happen. He said he was never going to come back, and he came back. Need I say more?
Yeah,
That's a pretty shocking
That's a good
moment.
one. That's a good one.
Right?
So CM Punk's return. Bryan, do you have the same for us, or what do you have for your most shocking moment of the year?
You already know, my boy. CM Punk returning to WWE. Kenny Bomb's favorite wrestler making his way to WWE.
I'll put
You know what I'm
narrative
saying?
out there.
That is the most shocking moment for me. And yeah, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, so I'm next on my screen, and I actually did not go with the CM Punk moment.
I
It
knew
was
you
a
wouldn't.
shocking moment, but there were some rumblings, and we really didn't think it was going to happen. For me, what personally got me the most invested and shocked when it happens
Coming up
was
with it
when
on the fly.
Roman Reigns pinned Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Unbelievable moment
That's
to me.
another one.
I still can't believe they went with that decision, so that's going to be my most shocking moment of the year. What do you got for us, Loaded?
Tony Khan firing CM Punk on AEW Collision.
Good one. Yeah.
I was gonna go with the WWE one with CM Punk coming back, but that was the most shocking moment of the year. It was very stupid for him to do that. He should have kept him. He would have made a lot of money with him.
Yeah.
He could have had a feud with you know who, with the Elite, but it didn't happen because they didn't want to make amends because they wanted to be little bitches.
Whoa.
They wanted him out.
Pew, 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 pew.
They wanted nothing to do with
We're
him.
gonna
They
have to
were
bleep that out.
he was working with children. He wanted to put it behind them
He is indeed loaded.
to be bygones, but yeah, they wanted nothing to do with him. So there you go. And now he's back in
That's a
the,
good
in
one.
the
I
WWE.
wasn't too shocked when it happened because I thought it was a
Of
long
course you
time
weren't.
coming, and I was glad to see it happen. But you know what? That's a good one. That is a good one. Mr. Dubbs, what do you got for us?
I mean, we all know what got 80 million views on across social medias. We all know that that's the biggest moment. But because I'm so far down the list and I want to give people something to vote for, I got to give the trolls something. Obviously, Ronda Rousey appearing on Collision out of nowhere for no reason. Ronda Rousey not showing up in AEW, not doing anything else, just randomly showing up on an edition of, or sorry, did I say Collision? I meant Ring of Honor. I meant Ring of
Yeah,
Honor.
Ring of
That's
Honor.
Yeah, you're good, you're good.
Sorry, they're on
Ring
the
of
same level
Honor.
to me. Yeah, not even in AEW, in Ring of Honor television. That to me was such a shocker. Obviously, the CM Punk return is going to be the biggest moment, but shocking wise, like shock value, why was Ronda on ROH television and never mentioned in AEW once? That
Yep,
to me is
that's a
shocking.
good one. That's another good one. Now, I do want to mention, y'all maybe see me looking down. It's unprofessional, but I'm just taking down everybody's responses so we don't miss anything and we give you guys the right votes. Let's go on to Kero the GOAT. Kero, what do you have for most
I
shocking
am
moment for
gonna
us?
go with Mr. CM Punk, of course, him returning to the WWE. Simply because, like, all of us knew he was gonna come back, but they still played us so well. They played us like a damn fiddle, at least me. When I saw the Titantron, I could not believe it. I jumped out of my chair. You can watch it right here on this channel, actually. If you go to our shorts, you'll see our reaction, live reaction. So it was amazing. I loved it. It was one of my favorite and most shocking moments, not only this year, but in a long while. So
Yeah, looks like that's a very popular one across the board. UTV, are you going to break the cycle or what do you got for us?
No, I will not. I'm going to be going with CM Punk too. Like, it was just such a crazy moment, you know, because there were so many rumors circulating, like, oh, he's gonna come back, and then started to decline. It was like, man, there's no way it's gonna come back. Yeah, you know, you started losing hope. Randy Orton comes back in Survivor Series. You're like, okay, and then you're just like, okay, that's got to be the end of the show. Static, and then everybody just goes ape. Like, I'm never gonna forget that day. We need to leave that link in the description for the reaction, bro. That was a crazy ass night.
Yeah, you're right. That was a crazy night, and I definitely can't deny it. That would probably be number 2 for me, but for number 1, I just still got to go with the injustice they pulled on Cody Rhodes. But
Before we pass that, because no one mentioned it and I thought it would get mentioned, is that just for people to have selection, can we not give honorable mention and give them the option of 80,000 people in a stadium for AEW? Most tickets ever sold to an event for All Elite Wrestling. Is that not a shocking moment? They outdid
you go with
every
that one,
WrestleMania.
or are you going with Ronda Rousey?
I'll go with 80,000 tickets because I thought somebody would bring up Wembley. AEW Wembley
Okay,
is that.
well, we'll
the
go with
fact that they were
AEW
able
at
to
Wembley
sell,
for Mr. Dubbs. We're calling it
they were
on the
able to sell
fly.
that 80,000 tickets. 80,000 tickets.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I got to go with that.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and
Thank you.
scrap Ronda Rousey, and we'll go ahead and add Wembley's attendance to most shocking moments. Now, moving on to the next section, we have biggest missed opportunity or biggest disappointment. Let's go ahead and start with you, Clint. What moment would you nominate for this category?
Well, it's kind of funny because your most shocking moment was my moment as biggest missed opportunity, not putting the strap on Cody. What were they thinking? I mean, I get it now because they're trying to beat Hogan's record, but at the time, it's like he was on fire. He had just won the Rumble. He just came back from an injury. That was the time to run with him for however long they were going to use him for. So for me, not putting the belt on Cody at WrestleMania. Biggest opportunity, missed opportunity.
All right, and that's a really good one. That's one that I didn't think about since I had it for the first category, but you know what? I definitely agree. Bryan, what do you have for biggest missed opportunity of 2023?
Cry me a river. That is my biggest opportunity miss right
Oh, you
there,
wanted
man.
CM Punk to stay in AEW.
Yeah, I mean, that is the biggest missed opportunity. You missed out on CM Punk and Kenny Omega. You missed out on a bunch of stuff there. I think that is the biggest missed opportunity company wise.
The
Yeah.
Crimea River.
Yes.
That's Brian's biggest disappointment. So for me, my biggest disappointment of 2023, I would say, is the booking of Wardlow. After he got taken away from MJF, won the TNT championship, and it was just downhill from there. I thought he was on the rise, the decline to be possibly one of their future world champions, but the way he's positioned right now just knocked him completely down. They kind of killed the whole purpose for that storyline. So I'd say Wardlow is the biggest missed opportunity for me. Loaded is a beast. What do you have for us?
CMFTR versus the Elite. Biggest missed opportunity. They even took shots at each other on TV, and the match never happened because the Elite didn't want to work with them. They were being children. They didn't want to make amends. I don't know what their problem is. They didn't want to make money. At that moment, they didn't care about AEW. They cared about themselves. They had a big ego, they had a very fragile ego. They couldn't put their egos aside at all, and they just wanted them out. That's why the Elite had their friends mess with them backstage, and he went crazy on them and started fights.
And I was like, somebody really hates the Elite. Let's move
Come on,
on
bro.
to the
Like-
dubious Mr.Dubbs. What's your biggest missed opportunity?
So for me, it was a cross because I wasn't allowed to know if it had to stick specifically to wrestling. So if it does, I have to go the fact that they did not get CM Punk and Kenny Omega in a one-on-one match in front of 80,000 plus fans at All In. The fact that we didn't get CM Punk, Kenny Omega headlining that card, and the fact that CM Punk is now gone, that is the biggest missed opportunity. If it has to be wrestling specific. If not, I say the biggest missed opportunity as a company, and it's going to continue to haunt them, is AEW Fight Forever. The fact that this game launched the way it did has such an amazing engine, and it's an incredibly fun wrestling game, and just the way they've fumbled after fumbled after fumbled with all these patches, this most recent patch, literally a slap in the face. It's like they're trolling their fan base now by giving us we asked for. Just it by far, and it's such a business blunder. CM Punk's already gone. Fight Forever is not. There's a chance to save it, but if we can include this video games,
So you can definitely include it. I think those are two very good choices. Which one do you want to go with?
I'm gonna go with Fight Forever if we can include it, because enough people.
We're gonna go with Fight Forever. That is a good one. Yeah. I didn't even think about that, but you're absolutely right, because games are a big revenue point. So that is a big missed opportunity. Kero the GOAT, what do you have for us?
Man, I was just so tired of the CM Punk drama that when I was thinking about this particular nomination, one name popped into my head. And most might not agree with this, but I think the biggest missed opportunity was to make Swerve the main event star that he deserves to be when the iron was red hot. Like, I'm sure in 2024, we'll still see him. He might even become the champion soon enough. Mm-hmm. But like just a couple of months ago when AEW had that pay-per-view going on, like it was so big. Like the hype behind him was insane. And the great thing about this is that, let's be real here, when he left the WWE, he was cold. Swerve was cold. Like he was not doing anything. He rebuilt himself completely out of the ashes and became a huge star. Like AEW could take full credit on this. So why don't you do it? You forget about CM Punk, say like, hey, we got a brand new star here that we pretty much made. Swerve. Let's go focus on the future. I think that is a big missed opportunity right there.
That's a good one. Thankfully, it's not too late, but you know what? It would have been definitely beneficial for them if they did strike while the iron was the hottest. We'll see if they can keep it hot. UTV, biggest missed opportunity of 2023.
Gonna definitely have to say CM Punk again. Like, man, that was a huge fumble. Like, holy shit. Imagine CM Punk versus Kenny Omega, Wembley Stadium. And you want to talk about 80,000? Hell no, that would have been filled up to the top. Pause. But it would have been 90,000 fans packed Wembley Stadium if that match would have occurred. Maybe we could have got CM Punk versus, maybe we could have got CMFTR versus, like, come on, bro. Like, they fucked up so bad with this. They really did. And guess what's going to happen after this? CM Punk, as you just know, re-signed with WWE, and he's going to take every single opportunity to be like, you know what? You fucked up. I mean, you see the numbers. You see that he's moving the needle. He's a breadwinner. Come on now, bro. I'm just saying.
Yep. So we got a lot of CM Punk talk there for the biggest missed opportunity. So the next category we have is the funniest moments. Let's lighten it up a bit. Clint, what was the funniest moment of 2023?
For me, it's got to be the Jay and Cody interview after they won the tag titles.
Yeet.
Or the post media scrum.
Yeah.
That was so funny. Yeah, he was like he had to be drunk or something. It was so funny. He was totally
Indiana
bonkers.
character.
And Cody was just like, straight faced, and he
Kenny
chuckled
over
a little
there
bit, but
throwing
nope, he's Cody being Cody, and I just thought that was the funniest thing. So that was the funniest moment for me.
Yeah, that one was all over the website we used to call Twitter. What do you got, Bryan?
I'm gonna have to agree with Clint, man. He stole it right out, man.
Sorry.
That yeet, that was funny,
Yeah,
bro. I ain't
that was
gonna lie.
hilarious.
So yeah, I'm gonna take that one for sure.
Yeah, personally, I think they were like 10 years too late with the yeet thing, but they're trying to fire it back up. So you know what? I'll let them
They're
have
not
it.
trying.
For me-
It's fired back up, my boy.
Oh yeah.
That's classic
For me,
WWE, though,
it
Kenny.
probably shouldn't have been funny, but I just thought it was hilarious. WrestleMania, Snoop Dogg calling a shot and kind of saving the segment. for Shane
I forgot
McMahon.
about that.
Boy.
Unfortunately, we haven't seen Shane since, but I thought that was hilarious that happened, and Snoop was the one to actually fix it on the fly. So that was my funniest moment of the year. What do you got loaded?
CM Punk again, bro. Probably that CM Punk promo he cut on SmackDown at the Tribute to the Troop show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when he referenced we talked about the backstage fight. Well, kind of mentioned it. How Kevin Owens shouldn't be starting backstage fights. So yeah, that made me laugh. That was a
was
funny
funny.
moment.
No, I'm just booing CM Punk, not your pick. Dubious Mr.Dubbs. Well, what do you got?
I mean, up until this point, literally this morning, I would have said the moment with Cody Rhodes and Jay just being drunk at the post, just them being drunk, because this is what got Jim Ross fired from WWE. Was that exact thing. When Ric Flair was too drunk, he got fired for doing a video game press conference, and they were all hammered, and Rick was too drunk. So
That
me
was
seeing
awesome.
that, I thought there was going to be huge disciplinary action. I thought it was hilarious. But this morning took my funniest moment of the year to the next level. No one is better at trolling their community now than AEW, Fight Forever. I'm sorry, AEW Games, with your new patch, this was the funniest moment of the year for me, by far. The patch they dropped, patch 1.08, just giving us exactly what we asked for. We asked for new match types. We asked for new creation parts. Here's 7 pieces of attire for men. Here's 2 for women. And here's 2 additions to Stadium Stampede, duos and quads. It was the biggest troll in the world, in the history I've seen, like a wrestling game do this, where and they're playing it off as if this is a genuine, here you go, fans. Like it blows my mind, the just tone deafness of this company for this game. So for me, by far, funniest moment just today, that patch being dropped, and just a middle finger to the fans.
Yeah.
I think all of the patches they've dropped so far kind of falls in that category. But what do you have, Kero the GOAT?
And WGC, by the way, full force right now. I'm gonna move away from the video games and go to SmackDown. Just remember, Rhea Ripley on the left, Randy Orton on the right, and he says those magical words, "Daddy's home." I just love Randy Orton, how he feels the moment, how he's in it. And after that, he's been saying the daddy stuff too. It's good. It's great. I love it. So, "Daddy's home," him saying it against Rhea Ripley, I just love it. It's recent, but man, it's gonna be my
cool.
I
That's
like
a good one. UTV, what do you have for funniest moment of the year?
I'm gonna have to go with the Bestie affair with MJF and Adam Cole and the Roderick Strong stuff. Like, oh my goodness, when I first saw Roderick Strong rolling in that wheelchair, screaming to the top of his lungs, "Adam!" That shit had me crying, bro. So definitely that.
Oh, it's about to get good. Breakout star of the year. We got a long list of stars here that I think caught fire in 2023. So which one caught the most fire? Who is the breakout star of the year if we were to ask you, Clint?
Well, even though he's kind of fizzled out right now, at least after fighting Roman, I'd have to say LA Knight. Before that, he was way over. Everybody loved him. I feel like making him face Roman was just, I don't know, it's just like digging the grave for him. They should have had him go to Raw and face Seth and maybe win the title before he faced Roman, just to give him a little boost, but it is what it is. But I would say LA Knight.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's actually a good one. What do you think about it, Bryan?
I am gonna go with Swerve.
Swerve?
I think Swerve is before I was gonna go with LA Knight, like maybe 3 months ago it would have been LA Knight, but I feel like they really fumbled him. I think with Swerve, I think he is like he's money right now, man. I love the way they've handled him this year.
Right. And you know what? I got to say, I agree with you 100% with everything you said, because about 3 months ago, it probably would have been LA Knight. After that match with Roman, it's just been downhill. So I can't even say LA Knight right now just because I feel like he's not as hot anymore, where Swerve is still climbing up the ranks. And if he wins this Continental Classic, that's going to cement him as the breakout star of the year, because I think that's going to take him great places next year. Really, he doesn't even have to win. It just depends on where they spiral him off into next. But as of right now, in this moment, I'm going with Swerve Strickland as well. Loaded.
Breakout stars. My guy is LA Knight, bro.
LA Knight?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they kind of kill his momentum, having him face Roman at Crown Jewel. That probably shouldn't have happened, but I think he'll bounce back. I think he's going to win the U.S. title at WrestleMania. I think he's going to face Logan Paul. Definitely.
That'd be a good spot for him.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, that's a good spot. All right, so we do have somebody who's sticking with LA Knight. Mr. Dubbs, what do you have?
I mean, clearly the breakout star of the year, Roman Reigns, by like obviously. I mean, obviously, what a breakout star! What an amazing just breakout rookie of the year moment he had this year. No, obviously, I'm going when I swerve, when I drive, I swerve. I don't know how he can be the biggest missed opportunity when I think he's the biggest breakout star and going to be the biggest star of 2024. I mean, to me, Swerve, every time he's on my television, I cannot look away. I think I enjoy him much more now than I did months ago when like he was peaking. No, he was at home. He was in Seattle. I think the next time you see him in Seattle, it'll be an even bigger reaction. The man is a star no matter what he does. Every segment he is in is captivating to me. By far, Swerve Strickland. Love every part of his presentation. It's just absolutely amazing.
Kero the GOAT, what do you have?
I'll go with Mr. L.A. Knight. Yeah, as well, because here's the thing. I was considering Swerve a lot. And I said just earlier that he was at a low point and then he just exploded. But we look at LA Knight. He was Max Dupree. And now he's LA Knight. That is the definition of a breakout. He was in a literal prison and he broke out of that. And now he's one of the best merch sellers in the WWE. And yes, they fumbled them with booking him against Roman. But he's still hanging out with Randy. He's gonna still do something with AJ Styles, you know. So I think it's all right. And if we're looking at 2023, you just cannot say anything else than LA Knight for this nomination.
All right, so we got another for LA Knight. UTV, what do you have for us?
Man, this honestly could be a tiebreaker, but those are the two names. Those are the two names right there, Swerve and LA Knight. Me personally, I'm going to have to go with Swerve. Like, this has been a crazy rise if I ever seen one, you know? Man just went from chilling with the moguls, chilling with the mogul embassy. Everybody just, you know, I mean, people were taking notice, but nowhere near as much as they are right now. You know, everybody's saying, oh, he should beat MJF. He should beat MJF. Like, it's a crazy ass time for Swerve, man. Salute.
Yep. All right, so I think we only had two on the list there, right? Swerve and LA Knight.
Those are strong names.
Oh, strong names, very strong names. Great year for both. Most improved. Clint, who's the most improved wrestler of 2023?
Obviously, Swerve. I mean, he's just wow. He has very much improved. Either if I had to pick an AEW guy, it'd be Swerve. If I had to pick a WWE guy, I would say Drew McIntyre, because his character development is so good. Just him becoming this heel very slowly. They're kind of dragging it out rather than, oh, I'm Drew, I'm here, I'm a good guy, yay. No, he's just like slowly turning into this monster that wants to strangle everybody. And it's, I think, story-wise, his is the best improved.
Okay, so which one are you going with definitively, Drew or Swerve?
Probably Drew.
All right, so we're going to go Drew McIntyre for most improved. You know what? That's actually very interesting because the guy was a WWE champion before. So the fact that he fell off to such a level where he needed to improve and now he's getting back there, you usually don't get a second chance. Look at Jinder Mahal. So that's actually a really interesting pick. I like that one. Bryan, who do you have for most improved?
Dominic Mysterio.
Ah, you know what?
I think
That's
he
good.
completely turned it
That's
around.
good.
For a 180. Like his career, like we all thought, like, yo, what's going on? But and we can say honestly that the heat he's been getting has been going on for over a year now. You know,
Yeah.
but this year he has also wrestled the most matches for WWE. That's an insane responsibility for somebody
It
who
is.
wasn't even like ready to some of us in our eyes a year ago. So I am a fan of Dominic and what he's doing.
Shout out to Dominic Mysterio. I really like that pick because when he first came in, I was like, they're going to kind of ruin Rey Mysterio's name by bringing this kid in before he's ready. He doesn't look like a wrestler. And then he, went around that crowd of people and he soaked it all in. And now, he does look like he belongs there. So I think that's a really good pick also. But there's only one right pick for this category. I don't know what y'all are thinking. It's absolutely Julia Hart. This young lady went from the Varsity Blondes to being the TBS champion, the championship that Jade Cargill had for all of this time. I wish she was ready and she actually took it off of Jade Cargill, but you know what? She got it at the end. She took a fall to Chris Statlander first, but she came back and Tony Khan did the right thing and put the strap on her. And I think she's only still improving every week. And she's probably going to get to the level where she is the main women's champion. And she's an AEW homegrown star. So I got to give this one to Julia Hart because the come up has been amazing. Promos, matches, she's just kind of picking everything up. So shouts out to that young lady. Loaded, who do you have for most improved?
I gotta give it. I was gonna choose Swerve, but I can't, bro. I don't know. I don't watch enough AEW. I only watch the clips, but I gotta choose LA Knight. I have to, man. Even though he lost to Roman at Crown Jewel, it never should have happened. But he gets the biggest reactions. He was cutting the best promos up until CM Punk came back. So sorry about that, LA Knight. Yeah, but yeah, LA Knight. He was the most improved. I think he should have won money.
That's fair.
He should have won Money in the Bank, but they gave it to Damian Priest. So.
Yeah.
But Vince McMahon was involved in creative, so he probably put a stop to that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's a good one. Cause like Kero said, he came from the maximum male models. Now, he's standing on his own, getting those reactions. So that is a great improvement. So another good pick. Mr. Dubbs, what do you have for us?
I just want to verify we do have Swerve Strickland in our list for voters, right? Someone picked him?
Yeah.
Swerve Strickland?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So then I'm gonna go with my second pick is Orange Cassidy. I would say his run started on October 12th, 2022, went all the way until he finally lost to Jon Moxley on September 3rd, 2023. He held that title for the majority of 2023. And before he was just a joke wrestler with the kicks, he had his gimmick and he proved that he can tell stories. Match after match after match, he had a different injury. He kept on wrestling. He kept on gutting through it. He made you care about a title in a company that has 3,000 titles, and they made you care about one of the extra ones that meant absolutely nothing, and I would argue is worth more than the TNT title is today, except for the fact that Christian's doing the best work of his career. So, I mean, that's another one you could say most improved, Christian. But I think I'm going to stick with my pick of Orange Cassidy just because he made a title mean something that meant nothing. He's completely changed hasn't had to change his gimmick, but has learned to tell stories on a different level. And I just have such a more appreciation for Orange Cassidy now than I did at the start of the year. So I'm going to go with Orange
Cassidy. He did kind of evolve his gimmick. It's still the same, but he added to it. So that's important. Just like we see with Chris Jericho, it's important when you evolve. But Swerve Strickland is actually not on our list. I forgot. Clint sided with Drew McIntyre. So
you don't have Swerve on the list for most improved?
We do not.
Oh my goodness. And also when I said Christian, I was like, wait a minute. This is the best work of Christian's career. As the
you got to go with one, Mr. Dubbs. Who do you have? Christian,
how many people are behind me?
Orange Cassidy.
How many people are behind me? Is it just Unsanctioned?
We got two more. UTV and Kero the GOAT.
You got to make a choice.
Okay, I'm going to go and give the fans options here, but I'm going to say, just because I have Swerve as an answer for so many questions, I'm going to go with Orange Cassidy.
All right, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Nice.
All right, Kero the GOAT.
I apologize, but that's a terrible answer, Mr. Dubbs and Kenny and anybody else who just spoke. Because Julia Hart, Swerve, all of these wrestlers ain't nothing but hoes and tricks.
You can't call Julia Hart a hoe. Get him. Turn the camera off.
That's it. Get him.
Cancel.
Get him.
And this man is gonna whip all of those tricks, man. I'm talking about Trick Williams, a guy that I thought would go nowhere last year.
I like that.
And now this year, I
my
like
second
it,
option.
man. Trick Williams has just grown insanely with his gimmick, his confidence. Like, he is on the come up now. He's not a breakout star, but he is definitely becoming a star. So I think just the development of Trick Williams has been incredible. So much so that I thought Carmelo Hayes was going to be the one in that little group of theirs. Now I think Trick Williams is going to be the bigger star, literally and figuratively.
You're doing your turtleneck dirty. I thought for sure you were going Christian.
Yeah, I thought for sure you was going Christian too.
My argument to that is,
come on, guys.
real quick, he's always been like, even back in TNA, he had this level.
That was
Yeah.
my.
He
that
didn't
was my
improve
thing.
to this level. He just got the chance to shine.
Yeah, and I agree
yeah.
with that. That's why I wouldn't put Christian
That's
in
the
this
reason why I
category.
choose him.
Come on, Trick
Best
Williams,
perform-
that is
best
a good choice,
performance of
but
his career.
not over
Yeah.
Julia Hart.
I know, exactly, Dubbs. Like, because he's good. He's always been good. He didn't
But this
improve
is
to
way
this
better
level.
than his TNA run, in my opinion.
know.
Way better than his
Okay.
Impact run.
Okay, then change.
I think. I think
Yeah.
this is.
Well, we're not going to have the debate right now because y'all know we don't
We'll
want to
do
get
that later.
started. So you're going to settle in with Trick Williams?
Absolutely.
All right.
whoop
UTV,
that
who do you got for us?
Well, since we've heard LA Knight, OC, and Swerve, I guess I'll be the one to
You
go
haven't
with
heard Swerve.
Christian. No
You haven't heard
Swerve?
Swerve.
Ooh.
Nobody's voted for Swerve. That's what he told me.
Damn.
Nobody's voted Swerve, so it's Christian or Swerve, right? It's a tough
Yeah,
one.
Damn. Well, I already went with Swerve for breakout star, so I'm gonna have to go with Christian in this one, man.
Yeah.
You know, when he first signed with AEW, I mean, you saw the reaction, but I was like, who
Yeah,
the hell?
you're
Like,
right.
what is this old fuck doing here? Like, come on. Everybody knew he was a good wrestler, but it's like, you know, everybody's like, oh, no, an ex-WWE guy, but he definitely turned some heads. He definitely did. Got the wrestling world on fire right now. I got to give it to Christian, man.
Beautiful. I love that he's in there.
I can see him in that category. Next one we have is promo of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have some pretty good promos this year. Not a lot of them really stand out to me, but there is one in particular. But before I get into mine, Clint, what do you have for promo of the year?
Well, since it's so recent, I'd have to say CM Punk's SmackDown promo, where he finally came back to WWE. It was pretty good. It was much better than his Raw promos, so, or one of the many Cody promos. But I'm going to go with CM Punk SmackDown promo.
Okay,
Fair
that's
enough.
a choice.
Wow.
Brian, what do you have for us for promo of the year? The
All right,
best
man.
promo cut all year.
I think one of the more iconic ones this year was Cody's promo before WrestleMania. I think that was one of my favorite promos when he told Roman, "You're going to be Roman with no reigns, my boy." Obviously, that did not happen, but that is one of my favorite promos this year. And I thought it was a good one.
All right, my promo of the year, Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland. Hangman told him straight up, listen, when we get in there, I'm going to kill you. Your kids won't be able to see you or play with you at the park or whatever. You know, he just went very dirty on him because Hangman went into his house. That really got me invested into the story. I'm like, well, you're telling this man you're going to kill him. Now when you get to the pay-per-view, you got to kill him. And we saw what happened. So promo going into the match and just everything that took place in that whole scenario. I'm going to give promo of the year to Hangman Page. Just really not one specific promo. Everything he did in that program, I think he really shined, and he's been shining a lot here lately. So I want to give him that shine. What do you have for us, Loaded?
Come on, man. Really? Let's see. Let me think. CM Punk's promo
Oh,
on
my
SmackDown at Tribute to the Troops. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
The best
High five.
promo he cut since he came back. The promo he should have cut on Raw.
Right? Yeah.
Which was the worst promo of the year. Let's get to that.
Ooh.
I don't know about that. Come on.
All right. Well, we're going to go with CM Punk at Tribute to the Troops. Make sure y'all make the right decision on this one, please. Next up, we got Mr.Dubbs. What do you see as promo of the year?
I mean, I looked at it in two ways. Like, is it the best promo person of the year with their overall work, or is it one specific promo in the year? And who can
Promo of
remember?
the year.
But this
One
is what I'm saying.
promo
I'm
that
saying the way I
that
judged
encapsulates
it.
promos.
I'm explaining why I gave my answer differently from you.
Oh, I thought you were
Everybody
asking.
else.
Okay.
No, I'm saying this is because I went for promo as a whole, because who can remember promos that happened in January and February last year?
Yeah.
You're just thinking
right.
recently. This is why we have CM Punk from 3 weeks ago. We're going Swerve from 2 months ago. We're not, it's hard to remember. So I have to go because, again, and I didn't vote him in the last category, Christian Cage. Christian is like by far his promos this year were so much better than anything he's ever done for me in the past. And as a whole, this whole gimmick of him, everybody's daddy that's dead, like just pushing the envelope with I had my jaw dropped in so many different promo segments this year. And if I have to pick one specific promo with him, it was when he dropped the F-bomb on Adam Copeland, when he said no thank you to joining the team and being back as best buds. When he dropped that promo and dropped the F-bomb on him, oh my God. Again, jaw dropped. Christian Cage all the way.
Okay, and you raise a good point there because we're not going to remember promos all year. So you know what? Let's kind of pivot here, and we're going to say the best promo of the year as far as the wrestler. Who cut the best promos all year? If you want to kind of cut that down into one promo, that's fine, but really just their promo work altogether. If anybody else wants to adjust their choices based on that, just let me know once we clear everything, but let's go ahead and give it to Kero.
I'm going to vote for one of our co-workers. All right? A fellow YouTuber by the name of Chris Danger. His promo.
Chris Danger.
Where he talks about his first match ever, right? He comes out there. He's always had, a knack for showmanship anyways. And the way he builds that promo and the emotion he has. And at the end, he reveals that his first opponent ever will be Adam Cole. And gets an awesome reaction. It was great. It stuck out to me because it's a fellow YouTuber. Because it's a fellow YouTuber who went into wrestling training. It strikes close to home. And not only that, but again, the quality of the promo itself, just awesome. So kind of a dark horse, this one, but I wanted to go with Chris Danger, DPW, where he talks about Adam Cole.
That's a good one. Shocking the system, going with Chris Danger. We got all these WWE and AEW wrestlers. Chris Danger sneaking his way in there. So we definitely got Chris Danger locked down here. But UTV, what do you have for us?
Hey, I'm right on board with Swerve and Hangman. Like, looking back, like, I still think about this often. It's the promo where Swerve said, "What's a buckshot to a kill shot?" Like that. Ooh, that is some bars right there. Like, you could put that on the outro of a G-Unit album. Like, man.
All right, and I'm with you. Those promos they did back and forth. I mean, kind of got those two tied together, man. Just that whole program, special,
incredible.
Moving on to the next one, Clint. What do you have for feud of the year? Two wrestlers you saw that made it where you couldn't take your eyes off the TV.
You can't deny the Page and Swerve feud. That was phenomenal. That was huge. You can't deny it. There was no other feud this year, even in WWE, that stuck out as much as that feud did. So that's my pick. Page and Swerve.
Great pick to go with. Bryan, what do you have?
I'm gonna have to go with the Bloodline, man. It elevated so many wrestlers. It elevated. We got Sami Zayn elevated. We got Jey Uso elevated. Jimmy Uso, he's doing some of his best work as well on his own side. Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa. I mean, we got a lot of good moments last year, obviously, with the Bloodline, whether you like it or not. So I'm gonna go with that storyline, man.
All right, so we got the Bloodline. Bloodline made the list in 2023. So y'all know personally, I gotta go with Swerve and Hangman. Just amazing storytelling, just cinema. They're building these guys in a great way. My feud of 2023 is definitely Swerve versus Hangman Page. Loaded. Let's have it.
Roman and Solo against the Usos at Money in the Bank was feud of the year.
That's it right there, my boy.
All right, so we got Bloodline Civil War down here. Mr.Dubbs, what do you think?
I mean, if Adam Page and Swerve Strickland wasn't already an option for everybody, I mean, it's pretty obvious. I always swerve when I drive, but I'm going to throw out there CM Punk versus The Elite. That is a feud that lasted the entire year and beyond, and it ended with The Elite winning and doing a victory lap in the ring when CM Punk was gone, and then CM Punk got to really win the war, coming back to WWE, 80 million views, and got to take his victory lap after Raw went off the air. I mean, you can't write better TV than this stuff. I know it happened backstage. It wasn't on air, so if it doesn't count, that's fine. CM Punk versus The Elite, feud of the year. If not, then definitely I'll just put in another vote for Swerve and Hangman because that's been incredible.
We're going to go ahead and move to Kero the GOAT.
I'm going with the Bloodline because we must acknowledge them and we must specifically acknowledge Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns.
Put your ones up.
The year. That's right. The Royal Rumble match with the chair shot. That's one of the best moments I've seen ever. Elimination Chamber match. There were some weak points of the match, but overall it was amazing. Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns was just amazing. So we can go with the
Wasn't that last
bloodline, or
year?
we can separate this.
And Kero,
It was the Royal Rumble.
don't forget that we got that amazing tag team match main event at WrestleMania as well between the Usos, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens. My boy, you can't write better TV, my boy. So I agree with you, man.
Y'all really going with the 8-year-old feud.
Yes.
And
I
you
thought
mentioned the
Sami
chair
and Roman
shot.
was last
Seth
year.
Rollins hitting Roman Reigns with the chair shot was a better moment. But you know what? We're not here to debate and talk about that stuff today. We're just going to go to UTV and get his choice for feud of the year.
Hey, once again, I know we've been hearing this name all through the night, but man, Swerve and Hangman, especially that match at AEW Full Gear, holy sh! Just the internet was freaking out and everything. Oh, you don't got to do all this. You don't got to do all that. The drinking blood spot and everything. It was just, oh my goodness, chef's kiss.
Insane.
That was amazing, man.
For the next one, we got best wrestling show of the year.
I like that.
Best
Ooh.
wrestling show of the year. Brian, go
You
ahead
gotta
and
give
kick
me
it
a
off.
minute.
All right, man. I'm going to go with Friday Night SmackDown, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Drew the ratings. It did his thing. Roman Reigns feels like a special star when he's on it. You know what I'm saying? Friday
on
Night
it.
SmackDown, I'm definitely going ahead give them the award. I think, honestly, Raw was definitely way less inconsistent than what SmackDown was putting out. I mean, you got the MSG episode they put out this year with the Bloodline segment. They did a lot of stuff, so I'm going to go with them.
All right, Clint, what do you got?
I got to agree with Brian. SmackDown just seems like it doesn't overstay its welcome like Raw does, because Raw is just way too long, and it feels like it's all over the place sometimes. But SmackDown is just like this perfect little circle, and it's. I feel like it's booked pretty good out of all the WWE shows. Like he said, Roman coming in when he does, even if you're tired of the whole Roman thing, it's great. It's just like, oh, Roman's back. Well, what are we going to do this time? Or who he's going to beat next time? Or stuff like that. It gets you tuning in. So SmackDown feels like a special show to me.
For me,
SmackDown
I'm
Live.
obviously easily going AEW Dynamite. It's the easiest show to sit through. You got 3 hours in Raw and nothing is happening at all. Raw used to be my favorite wrestling show ever, but now you watch Raw and it's just really nothing. You got the Judgment Day coming out, and then you got the Judgment Day closing the show. That's it. Nothing else. SmackDown is on Friday night. Roman Reigns is never on the show. Their biggest star is never on the show. So why are you watching it? You know, the main title is never on the show. So why are you watching these shows weekly? It's really no point. AEW Dynamite, you got the champion on there every week. You got pretty much all of your champions who aren't on Collision on AEW Dynamite. It feels like their main show, even though they do have a secondary show, and it's always easy to sit through. Sit down, watch AEW Dynamite. It's going off, and you're waiting to see what happens the next week. So it makes me feel like wrestling used to feel back in the day when I actually look forward to watching it instead of sitting down like, oh, we got to watch wrestling tonight. So definitely AEW brought that feeling back to me. So I'm going Dynamite for my show. Loaded, what show do you have to choose from?
SmackDown on Fox, man, because it's 2 hours. I'm not choosing Raw. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully they get a new TV deal soon. Go back to 2 hours.
It ain't happening.
But for now, I'm gonna choose SmackDown. And SmackDown is must see when Roman's there, but for the most part, it's
Roman's there how often?
What,
I
like
think he showed up like
six
at
times a
least
year?
six or
Six
eight
times a
Six
year?
times a year.
Yeah.
Nah, he showed up
Interesting,
more. He showed up more than 6 times this year. Let's not do that.
We'll stick with
10
6.
10
Mr.
times. He
Dubbs,
showed up 10
what do you
times.
got
Come
for
on,
Maybe it
your
was
man.
show of the
8.
year?
Maybe it was 8. Maybe there was 8 weeks.
What you got, Mr.
We
Dubbs?
got that.
I mean, I would love, and I would absolutely love if I could say Collision, but I can't say Collision. Sadly, it's Dynamite. It's AEW Dynamite. I watch it every week. I mean, I love AEW, and it's the only way I can watch it. I mean, I can watch Collision and Rampage, but out of the 3, Dynamite's got to be the winner.
Yep, I agree. Wednesday is a nice night for wrestling. Saturday, I think Collision hurts because it's on Saturdays, but I think everything just comes together because Dynamite is on a Wednesday. So I agree with you in that case. Kero, the GOAT.
If Collision started and continued and finished the year as it started, I would have said Collision actually, because the show was really fun at the beginning. Like, I really liked it. Everything I saw, the way it was booked as well. And it was also short, just like SmackDown, which will be my nomination. I'll say SmackDown as well. And I'll ask you this question. How did LA Knight get over? Did he get over in a black hole? No, he was on SmackDown when Roman wasn't there. There you go. That's just one of many answers we could give you, Mr. Kenneth. Bombsicle.
Yes, so he got over when Roman wasn't there, right? So what happens when Roman comes back? Does everybody forget LA Knight, or does Roman come back and bury him? No, just questions.
We're not here to argue, Mr. Kenneth.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So let's keep it moving. UTV, what do you have?
Definitely not Raw. I mean, ugh, damn that 3
You know what? And I
hours.
hate that. I hate that everybody's saying not Raw.
You want to talk about a cure for insomnia? Holy. Anyways, SmackDown. I'm definitely a fan of SmackDown, but you know, it's like you said, it's the Roman Reigns show, bruh. I mean, I fuck with LA Knight, you know, Randy Orton, all of them. It's a decent show. I like SmackDown, but I'm gonna have to go with AEW Dynamite, like, cause I'm just not just talking about, you know, promos and stuff. I'm talking about wrestling too. I can't count how many times I've watched Dynamite, and I'm like, damn, they're having this match tonight. Pay-per-view worthy matches way too often on Dynamite. Like, it is insane.
You're right.
Yep.
And Bryan complains about it. He's like, they should have saved this match for a pay-per-view. Bro, you want to wait on it?
Yeah, MJF
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Kenny
cut it
should have
out.
been on pay-per-view.
It would have happened. If he stayed over there, it would have happened.
Why
I
didn't that
strongly
happen at
believe
Full
that.
Gear? We had MJF and Jay White.
Hey,
Come on now.
Loaded, we're not here to argue.
All right,
Yet.
Not yet. Now, the next topic might get a bit spicy because
get
we
spicy.
got worst wrestler of the year.
Ooh, I've been waiting on this one, boy.
The worst.
Woo! Let's go ahead
man.
and kick it off. Let's put the burden on Clint's shoulders to kick it off.
Oh,
Who's
man.
the worst wrestler of 2023?
All right. Well, I feel like this is due to his booking and them trying to force this character all year, and it's just not working. And they just keep doing it. And I got to go with Karrion Kross.
Oh my God,
Oh,
you took
damn.
one, bruh.
Sorry,
Oh,
it's just
man. Ooh,
it's
that
just like
sucks.
he's got to take a break
Ah.
and repackage himself because what he's doing now just ain't working. Just stop. You're destroying your career. Stop.
Yeah, that
That's just
really
my opinion.
sucks. Because
Yeah.
remember him in NXT, the Fall and Pray,
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
like, this guy
awesome.
is money.
Yeah,
and you just called him the worst wrestler of the year.
due to booking.
That's bad. Bryan,
Yeah.
who do you have for worst wrestler of the year?
Oh, man, nah. I don't want to give the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do another one.
Give
if
him a
I had-
moment. Go to someone else. Give him a moment. Let him think. Let him cook.
You need to think,
Yeah.
Bryan?
Yeah. Let me cook real quick. Let me get in the kitchen.
All right, I'm
real
gonna let
quick.
you cook because I'll give you my worst wrestler of the year, and that guy is CM Punk.
Yep, I knew it.
Oh,
I knew it was
actually, I already
coming.
got my worst
Gets
wrestler.
in
of
the
the year.
ring and he cannot perform
I knew it
anymore.
was
He's
coming.
watching moves, trying to hit the Hangman Page buckshot lariat, can't do it. Jumping in the crowd, breaking his ankles up. The guy just doesn't have it anymore, and they're still trying to give him this spot. I think he's gonna expose himself in a bad way in WWE, and it's not gonna be good because the guy just can't go at a high level anymore. He's gonna go out there trying to prove himself, and it's not gonna end well. So, worst wrestler of the year, in my personal opinion, is what's his name? Charles Manson Punk. Let's go ahead and move on to Loaded.
Easy.
Hold on, I got mine. Let me get mine out the way.
All right.
All right, man. Listen, worst wrestler of the year to me, and he costs AEW a lot of money. Jack Perry, my boy. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, Jack
He
Perry's
ain't
the
got,
worst
he
wrestler of
ain't
the
got
year.
nothing
This man
going
has
on.
lost his mind.
He-
I like that answer.
listen. He costs AEW a lot of money, my boy. That in its own. You
Saved
can't
him a
keep.
lot of
And
money.
listen, if you can't keep it professional in a show that everybody came together to bring 80,000 people, then you just don't care about your peers. You don't care about your job, and that alone makes you one of the worst wrestlers in that locker room. And that's just what
Yeah.
I got to say about
What do
it,
you say
man.
about CM Punk? Did he keep it professional when Jack Perry got backstage? And
Are we here to argue,
went-
Mr.
turned
Kenny?
into the
Are
Hulk?
we here to argue, Mr.
Yeah.
Kenny? Are we here to
We
argue?
are not here to argue. So, Loaded, give me your worst wrestler of the year.
My worst wrestler of the year is John Moxley. Yeah, he's one of the worst wrestlers I've ever seen. I'm a fan of Dean Ambrose, but John Moxley in AEW is just ain't it. I mean, I'm
I didn't know
tired
Jim
of
Cornette was here.
I'm
So
tired.
he just so Loaded just said
Oh, I'm sorry, Plumber
John Moxley is
Moxley.
the
Plumber
Loaded just
Moxley,
said
there you
John
go.
Moxley is the worst wrestler and he's a fan of Dean Ambrose.
Bruh.
Take what you want with that and do that information as you please.
You know
Mr.
he only
Dubbs,
said that because you said CM Punk.
Get
No,
this man a gas
I didn't know he was
mask.
going
I
to say
think
CM
Kenny's
Punk.
head
I
just
didn't know.
exploded.
Yeah, give that man a gas mask. I'm with you, Mr. Dubbs. Mr. Dubbs, who do you have for worst wrestler of the year?
I mean, I have to agree with Bryan 100%. Jack Perry costing that company millions, just handing 80 million social views over to the WWE, handing them their biggest merch seller by far, handing them 400,000 viewers in every segment he does every week. Spike for Punk only, then right back off. You can't say he's not the biggest draw in wrestling. He is. Bigger than Roman, I would say at this point. And he's also not showing up every week. Signed to Raw, very next week, not on Raw. So you know he's a big star when he's only going to do 5 shows a year.
Or you know he's the worst wrestler of the year when he's only going to do 5 shows a year.
Are we here to argue, Mr. Kenny?
I mean,
not here to
also
argue. Finish your point, Mr. Dubbs.
I think if CM Punk wasn't wrestling and didn't sign to WWE, his worst wrestler would be Roman Reigns. So I mean, we know where we stand here. But I'm going to have to go because Jack Perry's already nominated. I will give an honorable mention because my daughter said this just as we were getting ready. That narcissistic jerk. Who is his name again? MJF. Doesn't realize he's a babyface now, but hated him whenever she would see him on TV as heel. So I give honorable mention for that, but my pick is going to be tying into MJF, the Righteous, as a team. Dutch and Vincent debuting them, a big debut in that ROH tag team title match in a handicap match. To lose in a handicap match, make them look like a complete joke at the biggest show of the year. Or wait, no, was that at All In? No, without
MJF like throw one up the other's butt.
Yes.
What?
Yes, he did in that match. Yes,
they
he
killed him.
was going to do it, and he threw him right under. He made them look like a joke. You're supposed to be. They were trying to make them have like a Wyatt family kind of feel, like this swampy kind of vibe. Like I really liked their vignettes building them up, and then they just had them lose clean in a handicap match to MJF where they got very little offense and made them look like a complete joke. So my vote is just them as a team, the Righteous.
All right, we're going to go the Righteous for Mr. Dubbs. Kero, the GOAT.
I gotta go with someone a little different. Someone from the WWE. Someone who couldn't cut a promo to save his life. Someone who acted so cool, but was so uncool, unbelievably uncool. Someone who couldn't even go over the top rope. Speaking of top, top dollar.
Oh, top dollar.
Baby. Taking off the top.
I'm like, where's he going with this?
Bro, it's bad. I got
It's
it.
just.
I was actually going to pick him, but I felt bad because he said that moment saved his life. So I was like, I'm just going to leave that brother alone.
That's what he said. I mean, hey. UTV, who do you have for worst wrestler of the year 2023?
Oh man, okay. Hey, I know mistakes happen, but holy shit, bro. Every single time this dude gets in the ring, it's like he's a risk. Somebody getting injured here, somebody getting injured here, somebody getting injured here. I mean, I get it, mistakes happen, but damn, bro. It's like people are fearing for their life when it's like, oh, you got a match book with this guy. Oh, good luck. But it is so bad that right now, I don't know if you know this, but right now in NXT, I believe that aren't they having a storyline right now with Ilya Dragunov, and it's based off of him injuring people.
Oh, that's
Rich Holland,
that's
Rich Holland, that's him. It is so bad that they're really having a storyline based off of him injuring people. Like, what the fuck is going on with this dude? But yeah, that's all I gotta say, man. It's bad.
I actually had Rich Holland on my list before I put it CM Punk, so I definitely agree with you. The fact that they're putting him in a storyline where he's injuring people is kind of crazy. So we'll see how that goes. All right, moving on to the next category, and that's going to be best heel and best face. We're going to get both in the same shot. So let's go ahead and kick it off with Clint. Clint, who was the best heel of 2023 and who was the best face?
For best heel, I got to go with Christian in AEW. I mean, his work is his best he's ever done, and he's just done amazing work, especially with his interactions with Edge. And obviously, the best babyface, he's been the biggest babyface all year. I got to go with Cody. Got to go with Cody Rhodes. Those are my 2 picks.
All right, 2 great picks. Bryan, who did you have for best heel and best face?
Yo, Clint, my boy, you taking all of them tonight, my boy. I'm playing with you, but nah, yeah. As you guys all know, man, I'm a big Cody Rhodes fan, so of course I'm gonna go with my boy for the biggest face, and Christian Cage, like Dubbs has said already this during the show, he's doing literally the best work of his career, and I'm glad that I am tuned into wrestling too, going ahead and appreciate it and watch it and see what he's doing, because it's truly phenomenal that at his age he's doing what he's doing. So 1000% Christian, best heel Cody, best face for me.
And those are two great, fantastic picks because I actually got the same thing. Best heel, I'm going Christian Cage. Best face, I went with Cody Rhodes. Loaded, what do you got?
I can't believe I'm saying it, but Christian Cage is the best heel right now. The fact that on Collision he kicked out his daughter when he's doing an interview with with Tony Schiavone. Yeah, that was hilarious. So I'm like, okay, I gotta give it to him. And the fact, and saying that everyone's father is dead, like, just hilarious stuff. And best face, I mean, CM Punk. Yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
All right, we'll put him on
You
there.
made my answer easier. Thank you, Logan.
Well, put him on there. Mr. Dubbs, what do you got?
I am a fan of giving our fans at off the top options. So I don't like picking stuff that's already been there. My best face was going to be Cody Rhodes or CM Punk. My best heel was going to be Christian, or the man I am now picking for my answer for both best heel and best face, Swerve Strickland. I'm going with him for both categories.
So we're going Swerve and Swerve.
Swerve and Swerve, because
That
his
is
work when he was
interesting, but I like it.
when he was breaking into Hangman's house, you don't get more heelish than being by someone's child's bedside and everything he pulled. But the reactions he's now getting, and the whole crowd is behind him. Nana with the presentation. You can't argue that he's now the biggest up and coming babyface, while still maintaining the same character. And that's what Steve Austin did once upon a time. So I see big things for Swerve. So I go best heel first half of the year, best babyface latter half.
All right, I love that pick. Love that pick. All right, let's move on to Kero, Cero, Miedo. Best face, best heel of 2023.
I'll change things up. I'm gonna say Sami Zayn for the best babyface of the year, because I mean, I love this stuff in NXT back in the day, our Evolution, all of that. This kind of harkened back to that, and it just brought back those old warm feelings. And I thought the entire angle, like I said, was done really well. As for the best heel, he's also someone that we mentioned today. His name is Dominic Mysterio. I mean, I love this match with his father too at WrestleMania. His entrance was so badass with the cuffs coming out. Speaking of Stone Cold, he's just been great. So that's it.
All right, that is a good one. Two good choices. UTV, who do you have for best heel and best face of 2023?
Well, since I already gave most improved to Christian, I mean, although he may not be on TV like that, I'm gonna give best heel to Roman Reigns, bro. I'm gonna give best heel to Roman Reigns. And best face, this is the tough part right here, because you can either go with Cody Rhodes or you can go with Sami Zayn. I'll go with Cody Rhodes, definitely.
All right, another two good choices. Roman, that's going to be a strong one. Some pretty strong baby faces also, so this one is going to be interesting. Let's go ahead and move on to the next category, and this one is going to be big because we have best male and female wrestlers of 2023. Clint, who is wrestler of the year on each side?
For the women's division, I got to go with Rhea Ripley, because she's just been a dominant force in the women's division. I don't think she's lost a singles match all year long since she won the belt. They've really made her strong. They've really she's the leader of the Judgment Day, unofficially. I don't know. She's just, her character's really good this year.
Yeah, that's a good pick. She's really bounced back too. She recovered very well, because there was a point where she took a dip, but I think now she's back up where she should have been.
Yeah, she's like top dog, if you will.
Yeah.
And then best man. Now this might be a little different than everybody else's because a lot of you don't like his current gimmick, but I gotta go with Seth Rollins for his work ethic, man. This dude has been at every show, every pay-per-view, putting the title on the line, showing up, doing promos. I mean, I gotta go with Seth, man. This guy, Seth Rollins, he just keeps. He's like John Cena was when he was there. He's just there all the time. If you love or hate him, you're gonna see him. It doesn't matter.
Yep, very loyal. So that's a really good one. Bryan, what do you have? Best male wrestler of the year, best female wrestler of the year.
I gotta go with my boy Cody, and as you already know, Cody is somebody obviously that they should have just put the title on at this point, but we're still waiting. So I'm gonna go with Cody, and for the women's division, I'm gonna have to agree with Clint. Rhea Ripley. I think that she has done phenomenal work, even when she's not in the ring and she's just ringside. Everything she does, she just knows when to do things and everything like that. So she has perfected her craft in a lot of ways. So I'm gonna go with Rhea Ripley as Women's Wrestler of the Year.
All right. Two good picks there also. Definitely can't deny Cody Rhodes, even though he didn't finish the story like he should at WrestleMania. Because he didn't, I can't give him Male Wrestler of the Year. And I'm going to have to give it to MJF. AEW guy who put the company on his back straight off the indies into AEW, made himself a top star. He's definitely going to be a huge acquisition to whoever he gets and whichever company he goes to moving forward. So, you know what? He proves himself as a world champion. He's ran for it for a lot of this year. So I'm going to have to give Male Wrestler of the Year to MJF. And Female Wrestler of the Year, I'm going to give to Bianca Belair. I always admire what she did because, we got Sasha Banks, we had Bayley, we had Becky, Charlotte. I always looked at it like, yeah, we'll never get a crop of girls like this come from NXT and be this successful again. And while Bianca was never the NXT champion, she went to the main roster and she really shines on the main roster. When it comes to that female John Cena, I look at Bianca Belair and I see that. Definitely a very beautiful woman as well. So I got to give Female Woman of the Year to Bianca Belair. Loaded. Let's go ahead and get your picks.
So, best wrestler of the year for the men. I was gonna say CM Punk, but I can't give it to him because he didn't come back till June. So
Right, let's take him out of there.
I wouldn't be
Get him
fair.
out
So
of there.
I gotta go with LA Knight. I gotta go with LA Knight. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of him. He got the biggest reactions. I think he should have won that Money in the Bank. I think Vince stepping down last year was the best thing that could ever happen to him. He still would have been Max Dupree. He would have been actually fired, and he probably would have went to AEW. So I'm gonna give it to him. And then for the women, Rhea Ripley. I mean, she had a great match. I mean, I'm not a big fan of women's wrestling, but I'm gonna give it to her. She had a great match at WrestleMania this past year, with Charlotte Flair. So yeah.
Okay, definitely fair. Definitely fair. You didn't get too dirty there on women's wrestling, so I like it. Mr.Dubbs, who do you have for best male and female wrestler of the year?
Well, I will give my honorable mention because I like to give the fans options, and because Rhea Ripley's been across the board, seems to be a very big consensus. So I'm not going to pick Rhea Ripley just for that reason. She was my pick. But for that reason, I'd like to give the fans some options. I'm going to go with Toni Storm because of the evolution of that gimmick has entertained me week after week. I love the work she's doing. So I'll give it to Toni Storm for my Women's Wrestler of the Year. And for Men's Wrestler of the Year, I mean, you guys already know. I swerve when I drive. I swerve when I drive. I can't get enough of Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana on my TV. I can't. It's amazing. I'd love to give it to RVD because it was such an amazing watching him come out to Walk by Pantera. That actually should have been my moment of the year. Too late for that now. But yeah, my Men's Wrestler of the Year, I'm going with Swerve Strickland.
All right, good choices, good picks. Kero, cero, miedo.
I'll start with the women's. And yeah, just cut it short. Rhea Ripley. I mean, her breakout year this year has been everything for Rhea Ripley, and she's established herself as a star now. Like, awesome. There's no other choice, to be honest with you. Even though lots of you said the same thing, undeniable. Male, I was actually gonna go with MJF, but just like Dubbs, I want to give the people a choice. So my next choice is Roman Reigns. And the reason I originally wanted to pick MJF over Roman Reigns was because MJF shows up. MJF did the work, man. But like Roman Reigns, even though he shows up a hell of a lot less, when he shows up, it matters. So gotta give it to him.
Let's go ahead and move on to the final category, which is match of the year. Starting off with Clint.
Well, my match of the year is a tag match, shockingly, and it's the WrestleMania Sammy and KO versus the Usos. That match was absolute fire, and they kept teasing like, "Oh, they're not going to do it. They're not going to pull it off. They're not going to pull it off," and they actually beat them. And with the shock and awe in the crowd, and they finally got the belts off of them. That storytelling, they finally stopped the bloodline. It was was a tearjerk moment, man. It was awesome. Like if you're really into wrestling and you're really
Yeah.
into these characters and the storyline, I mean, that was like it was beautiful, man. I mean, it was awesome. It
That's
was awesome.
wrestling. Yeah, I know what you
Yeah,
mean. That's
yeah,
wrestling.
yeah.
When you get
Yeah.
those moments, you're like, man, this is why I watch wrestling. You don't get
I
them
mean-
too often, but when you get them, they're definitely going to make you remember.
Right?
Agreed.
I mean, I didn't cry. No. Oh no. But yeah, that was my pick.
All right, so we got Sammy and KO versus the Usos at WrestleMania. What did you have, Bryan?
For me, all right, man. So mine is going to be a very unique one. And I'm going to go with Backlash. I think Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. It was a great moment, great match. Part of me wanted to go with the Civil War with that tag team match, but enough of the bloodline. Let's go on ahead, get Bad Bunny and Damian Priest in there. That was one of the best matches this year in terms of atmosphere, just the way it was treated. It should have been the main event of that show, honestly speaking, and it wasn't. So, yeah, I think if WWE could go back, they would definitely put that as the main event, but great match. I loved it, honestly.
All right, so we got Bad Bunny and we got Damian Priest. Now, my match of the year is one that was recent, but you can't deny it. Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Page at Full Gear. The match was insane. It had a good build that led us up to the match to let us know what to expect. Now, when they were doing those feuds and Hangman said, I'm going to kill you, I'm really going to kill you. I didn't expect to get a death match like this, but this match, it did have all of the bells and whistles. They used everything outside of the ring, but that was not why this match was great. It was really the storytelling throughout the match. And even from the beginning to the way it ended, even though Hangman went in there and even though Swerve broke in Hangman's house, and you would think Hangman would win the match, they went ahead and let Swerve take the victory and avoided 50-50 booking. That's why this match meant a lot, because Swerve had just beat Hangman, and by the terms of wrestling, Hangman should have won this match, but they made the right decision and Swerve left with the victory. So just 10 out of 10. The match was perfect from start to finish. That's going to be my match of the year. Loaded, what do you have?
Match of the night is Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 39. That match was great. I loved it. I was at the edge of my seat the entire time. My anxiety was at an all-time high because I had no idea who was going to win. I thought Cody was going to win at the end. I really did. But I knew Roman was going to win. There was no way they were going to let him drop the title. There was no way. He came out. Cody returned at number 30 at the Rumble. Like, no, there was no way they would have him come back at the Rumble at number 30, have him win, and just have him beat Roman at Mania. Like, that would be too easy. He's got to pay his dues. Like, he's still got to tell the story.
Yeah, man. I can't say I knew. I thought Cody was going to take it, but yeah, it was definitely still, that was another one of those moments where I thought, this is wrestling. Good or bad, this is wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You were going to say something else, Loden?
What else? I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the dubious one, Mr.Dubbs. What did you have for match of the year?
So far, I'm loving this. No one has given the same answer, and I won't be either. I didn't have to switch it up. Hangman and Adam, the death match with Swerve was going to be an honorable mention for me. But for me, by far, match of the year, this was, I'm shocked nobody said it, was Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay at Forbidden Door.
I knew you were going to say that when you said it. Yeah.
Like, incredible. They had an incredible match also at the New Japan, the first one, beginning of the year. Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah. They had an incredible match at Wrestle Kingdom as well. And I just don't know how nobody said it, but yeah, by far, match of the year. The Forbidden Door match to me was better, and it shocked me. It shocked me. I could not believe. And it looked like Kenny Omega broke his neck in that match.
Yeah.
Right? Remember that Tiger Driver? Like, that was brutal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that by far, my match of the year. Loved it.
Yeah. No, that's number 2 for me. It's definitely something that I would have said if that Hangman Swerve match didn't happen, but just everything tied into that match did boost it up another level for me. But
Kero, my number 2.
Kero.
Well, the Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay matches were going to be my honorable mentions because you guys know what kind of wrestling I'm into, right? Roman Reigns is more my style, more my speed. But even then, I really like Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. And like when I was watching their matches, it was crazy. It was insane. But I need that extra thing. Just like how you said, Kenny, Hangman has the story with Swerve. I need that story. And I'm going to go back to the same match that I kind of talked about. And it is but Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, Royal Rumble, beginning of this year. The whole match, I was also very anxious on the edge of my seat because they were teasing the hell out of Sami Zayn turning. And then they delivered that moment so perfectly. And I will never forget the way it made me feel. That is the most important thing to me ever. It's the same reason why I actually really like, all the way back, Kenny Omega and Okada in like 2016. Because of the way it made me feel. It made me feel amazing. So because of that, I'm going to give my nomination to Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, Royal Rumble 2023.
All right, definitely like that one as well. I agree with you. That story can really make, even if the match is good, that story being tied to it makes it even better. Think about Sasha Banks versus Bayley at, I think it was TakeOver Brooklyn. Whatever the first match they had on, all of the story and everything that went into that match just made that match so good. One of the best matches ever. But let's go ahead and pass it to UTV. What did you have?
Dubs took my damn answer, man. But yeah,
go with Forbidden Door or go with the New Japan, the Wrestle Kingdom. Go with that match.
That damn Forbidden Door match, man. Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay, like so many great moments in that match. You just talked about the Tiger Driver, and I remember Will Ospreay, I believe he licked his elbow with the blood, and everybody was like, "You sick, you sick." There was just so many great moments in that match. I'm gonna go ahead and give a couple of honorable mentions. Chad Gable versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, great match. The Full Gear match with Swerve and Hangman, and last but not least, that tag team match at WrestleMania with the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Loved all those matches.
All right, great list of matches you got there as well. So Omega and Ospreay, you're going with that one also? I think that was really the only tie we had, the only one multiple people chose.
That's awesome.
Yep, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Can I say something? I also, just like other people, the triple threat match between Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus at WrestleMania, that's also like a match. There were so many good matches. This was definitely the most difficult category. Like, it was so hard to choose.
Yeah.
So those are the nominees for Match of the Year. Make sure y'all get in the community tab. We will have all of these categories posted. Give us your answers, and we will be back next week to read out the results. And we're going to present these awards to the wrestlers. Thank y'all for tuning in to this show. Make sure you drop a like on it and smash that subscribe button. We need y'all's interaction. So get in that community tab and let us know who won these categories. Off the top, we out the building. Peace.